At this time of unprecedented worry and anxiety, driven by a single virus, baffling the brightest minds in science, there are lessons that we can take from this global pandemic. We are all equal, regardless of our culture, religion, occupation, financial situation, or social status. It is reminding us that we're all connected, and something that affects one person affects another. It is also reminding us just how important family and home are, how providing for those we love is of critical importance, especially in times of crisis, and how difficult or even impossible that can become under certain circumstances.
Well, I think that we're going to dive into things. I've got the top of the hour. Obviously, our room will continue to populate, but I don't want to hold off our start time because we've got a lot of really important stuff that we want to cover. So first of all, I would like to, if you don't mind, Justin, if you have the time, let's just get things started and identify in that very effective way that you do who's tuning in, from where they're tuning in, and whether they're a member working with us or whether they're a guest here from the first time.
Welcome to today's new social movement, guys. Justin Halliday, thanks for having me on, John. And so we just like to start with a really quick exercise and kind of understand who we have, first of all, just for expectations. I'm sure some of you have some of those Seinfeld reruns to get to, or maybe you have, you're cooking lunch or breakfast or dinner, wherever you're tuning in. We're going to be running about 45 minutes, about 45 to an hour. And just a couple of quick questions. So for those of you that are joining us here and you are already a member in one of our 100 plus countries, you are already receiving benefits from these services that John was talking about. Please do us a favor and put a number 2 in the chat. So all of our CFX members all over the globe, drop a number 2 in the chat, and there they come. I love it. I love it. I love it. We love seeing the members coming back. One reason they come back, we come back, you come back, is because you have guests on here. And so you want to be a part of this webinar with your guests, which I think is great. Second reason I've noticed is people are coming back after they start receiving their payouts because they have to verify, is this thing real? Like, some guy got me on this webinar and I signed up, and now all of a sudden I'm making money and I've done nothing. And so we get guests our members coming back. So that's great. We love to see it. Now, for those of you that are taking a look at this business, this company, this project for the very first time, you are a first-time guest viewing this today for the first time. Do us a favor and drop a 1 in the chat. Just go ahead and find that chat box. Go ahead and hit the number 1. Let us know that you're here taking a look at this for the very first time. Perfect. Here come our guests. We love it. Like I tell Luigi when we do our other webinars, even if there's just one guest on here, just one person out of 200 that are taking a look for the very first time, we're here to make sure that you have a good understanding of the business. And clearly, John, we have more than one guest. So we're ready to rock and roll, man.
All right. Well, listen, let's dive into things. So what we'll do is I think it will introduce what we're going to accomplish this call. And I think we are going to keep this pretty tight, pretty short, Justin. But we will give everyone just a little 90-second overview of why we're getting together in this very specific and unique format, this new social movement format. This is essentially the company wanting to make sure that they go the extra mile for all of our members and have an opportunity for all of your guests to hear directly from corporate in regards to this crisis, this pandemic that so many people are suffering from right now, and what can possibly be done about it. Because we know how much uncertainty there is in the world, and it really doesn't matter where you're tuning in from, what country that you live in, there's challenges. And there's so much that is undecided as to how we're going to start migrating back to our regular lives. And of course, while that's undecided and before that migration happens, there are many, many people that are struggling right now. And so this, as Justin has just mentioned, is an absolutely fantastic way to take some action right now while you may be completely surrounded by uncertainty and actually start having some money come back into your household that could make all the difference over the next 30, 60, 90 days. So we're going to play a little 90-second clip for you, and then Justin's going to dive into the specifics of what makes this tech so effective and why so many are benefiting from it.
At this time of unprecedented worry and anxiety, driven by a single virus, baffling the brightest minds in science, there are lessons that we can take from this global pandemic. We are all equal, regardless of our culture, religion, occupation, financial situation, or social status. It is reminding us that we're all connected, and something that affects one person affects another. It is also reminding us just how important family and home are. How providing for those we love is of critical importance, especially in times of crisis, and how difficult or even impossible that can become under certain circumstances. The world we know is going to change. There's no escaping that fact. One thing still in your control: what you do with your time. There's a tiny percentage of people globally that are completely free of debt, not beholden to anyone. And as incredible as that may sound, anyone can accomplish a similar degree of this success. With proper guidance, you can attain the same freedom and the same peace of mind to enjoy family and friends, regardless of what may be happening in the world around you. While real financial security is available to everyone, it doesn't happen on its own, and it's not easy, but it is absolutely possible for you. To learn what steps you can take today, and to make sure that you're numbered amongst those that are financially free, get back to the person that shared this video with you and take action today.
Oh, dude, am I muting you?
All right, there you go. So just like that video said, we are all connected. And regardless of your circumstance, regardless of your situation, whether you are able to work from home and generate an income right now, or maybe you were sent home without an income, like many are, this is a way for you to very easily, I hate to say that because I don't want it to sound like one of these get rich quick schemes. I think it's a get rich slow scheme. But I want you to understand what we have at our fingertips here with CashFX. We're talking about two trending industries first and foremost. First, it's e-learning, right? Being able to pick up a skill that nobody could ever take away from you, that empowers you to generate income from your computer, in your house, in your pajamas. Just think about the power of that, right? I sold online education for about 5 years. And this was back 10 years ago when e-learning was really just becoming a thing. Well, now it's a $1 billion thing. And it's one simple reason. It's because people can, it says it right there, 40 to 60% less time in the classroom. Now, what's different between this education and some typical online learning is this is not just some white labeled repackaged training that you can go and watch on YouTube. This is a very, this is a step-by-step education that's interactive between you and the educator. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. But that's the first part of it, is getting access to learn a skill set while you're home that can empower you to generate an income from your house. The second part of this is the Forex market. Now, don't be afraid of the Forex market. I just learned about the Forex market 3 years ago. So some of you may be watching this right now and you're like, what is Forex? Like I've heard of the stock exchange, right? I've bought some stocks, I don't really know what the equities market is, but clearly it's way bigger than the stock market. And then you have the futures market and then you have Forex. And Forex simply stands for foreign exchange. But what we love about what you're about to learn here today is that you don't need to be an expert. You don't have to really, if you choose not to get educated, you can leverage this technology that CashFX has been working on and successfully trading with over the last couple of years. But I think John is going to cue us up with a really short couple of minute video just so that we can all have a good knowledge and understanding foundation of what the Forex industry is.
The foreign exchange market, or Forex for short, is a global, decentralized, over-the-counter market for the trading of currencies. This market determines foreign exchange rates for every currency.
It includes all aspects of buying, selling, and exchanging currencies at current or determined prices. You have probably already participated in the Forex market. If you've ever traveled to another country, you would have exchanged some of your own country's currency for the currency of the country you're going to visit. If you didn't spend all your exchanged currency and deposited it into your bank account when you returned home, and that currency went up in value during your vacation, you would have received more of your home currency for your exchange currency when you deposited your excess foreign currency into your bank. This is also how you make money in the global Forex market. There are plenty of ways to invest your money. Lots of people purchase stocks or bonds. The Forex market has several advantages over the stock and bond market. Stock and bond markets frequently have bull periods and bear periods. A bull period is identified when just about everything in the market is going up. A bear period is identified when just about everything in the market is going down. While it's easy to make money in a bull market, it's much harder for a trader to make money in a bear market when prices are falling day after day. In Forex, there never really is a bear market or a bull market, since each trade consists of buying one currency while selling another. The market never really goes up or down as a whole. One currency going down naturally means the other counter-currency is going up. All that matters is the currency you're interested in is either going up or down. Secondly, the Forex market in general is a level playing field. There are no mergers or acquisitions or inside trading to make the market move unexpectedly. The Forex market is the biggest market in the world, with over $5 trillion a day traded. So no one entity is ever big enough to control a market of that size. The market trades 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. That's 124 hours of continuous trading time available to you. You can start trading at 9 a.m. Monday morning in Sydney, Australia, and wrap up your trading on Friday at 5 p.m. in New York. So the market is ready and waiting for you anytime you want to trade. And because the market is so big, odds are you'll never be stuck in a trade. If you want to get out of a position, you can almost always find someone to buy or sell with. Trades are executed within seconds. Central banks and the global banking industry, governments, financial institutions, multinational corporations, and about 90 million home-based retail trading enthusiasts all trade in the global Forex market.
90 million. Those are considered retail traders. Those are the people who are home and are not one of those other four categories, big banks, hedge funds. Those are people like you and I, 90 million. Now, I'm just curious, we have over 160 participants here today. If you have ever opened up your own broker account and tried to trade Forex on your own, would you do me a favor and just type the word Forex in the chat? If you've ever tried to open up your own broker account, put your own funds in there and trade Forex on your own, if you do us a favor and just put the word Forex in there. Here's a fact, guys. 95% of those 90 million have lost money. In fact, most of them have lost all their money over and over again. And so why is Cash FX so valuable? One, it's because of the education, which we're going to touch on. And then two, because of the technology that we get to leverage. You hear us say it all the time. You don't need to be an expert to be successful, but you better believe that you better be connected to the experts. We're going to talk a little bit about the values, and I just like highlighting three words: transparency, honesty, and respect. Those are three very important words in life and in business. And what we learned early on, in fact, John and Luigi and I sat in on a call with Ron Pope and Huáscar Lopez, the CEO and founder, back in early July. And what we learned very early on, and then just continued to see as a common theme through every meeting and every event, through the grand launch, all the way up until today, is that transparency, honesty, and respect starts with our CEO and our co-founder, Ed Winabad and Huáscar Lopez. It resonates through the corporate marketing team, the technology and infrastructure team, the support team, and then from anybody in this company who considers themselves to be a leader in the field, all the way down to every single member. Transparency, honesty, and respect. Those are three values that I believe we should all be interested in. Number two, it's the purpose. It's about enriching lives. You see, one of the things we learned was that Waskar and Edwin have been trading as successful Forex and cryptocurrency traders, entrepreneurs, multimillionaires for several years. They did not have to bring this technology to us. It wasn't a matter of, hey, we've got to launch this company so that we can make more money. It really is. You heard Waskar talk about this in the beginning stages and at the launch event. It was about a purpose, a greater purpose. And when a company is created with a purpose, that company has a really good chance of lasting a really long time. Now, we don't know how long CashFX will be around. Many of us believe we're dealing with a legacy company, and time will tell. But we are very pleased with what we've seen up to this point for consistency and results. And last, of course, is the positioning, and that's given you and I, 22,000 members around the world and more every day coming on board, the ability to educate themselves and the ability to leverage the technology that these guys have built. So let's talk again, Waskar and Edwin. We've already started to introduce them, but if you want to get some more information about them, get back to the person that invited you here. Make sure that you get their affiliate link to the corporate website, and then there's a really nice long bio. And both of these gentlemen, they're both visible on social media. I mean, you could go take a look at Waskar and his family, and they're just here. They're typically on this webinar, but I know Waskar had something that he had to take care of today, very pressing matter. But just the transparency that they show, their experience. I know that Edwin has owned a very, very successful operations company for many years, and so they have the background of actually running successful businesses. John, you talk about this all the time. It's so easy in 2020 for somebody with just some money to start a company. They don't have to have a resume. They don't have to have experience. They don't have to have anything. They just have to be able to build a website and have some money. And so, although they may have the right intentions, do they have the right experience? Do they have the right experience to actually execute? And these guys have the experience. So let's move on. I think we're going to talk a little bit about Panama. And so this is our global headquarters. Guys, when I say that you will be proud of this office, CashFX is launching a beautiful, gorgeous global Forex headquarters for you and I to call our home base. It is in a beautiful area of Panama. It is a 10,000 square foot office. It's the entire floor of the building. In fact, many of us that had an opportunity to get out to Panama were able to take a tour of this office. And it was more transparency because the office wasn't ready. In fact, I'm going to be quite honest with you. When we walked in, I was a little shocked that the office was not finished because we had expected it to be finished. Come to find out that the furniture and some of the different designs that are coming in are being shipped from all over the world. But what we did get to see is more transparency. We spoke with the building owner, and the building owner shared some of his background with Waskar and business dealings and more integrity. We got to hear from the lead architect that broke down. And one of our partners has a cool video floating around of the wall of televisions where they broadcast the live trading operations. And one of the things that he said that sticks in my mind is this is not, I mean, when you see the type of investment that these guys have made into this business, this is not just some guys that created this opportunity to make money in 6 months and get out of here. There is a 5-year minimum business plan, and this office is a big part of it. Ribbon cutting coming soon, you guys. Real soon, we're going to be able to fly out there and be a part of that event. And so I hope all of you, those of you that can come, would come and join us. But beautiful office. Let's go to the next slide.
The other thing interesting about this information and being able to tour it, and there's a number of people on this call right now that were that were president and had the opportunity to tour these facilities, and the capital investment for such a young company to make in things like this, make in the academy, some of the other things you're going to be talking about. This is why dealing with owners that are already successful, already well financed, is so critically important for all of us when a project's brand new.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because I was a part of one company that launched and didn't have any capital. And so for the first 6 months of pre-launch, it was really about taking the funds that were coming in to build the company. And so we, the level of investment into the office, the level of investment into the academy. Now, this is a real trading academy that's going to be accredited by the Minister of Education in Panama at the university level, you guys. And then we talk about the success, right? And so there's 2 key bullet points on here that I want you guys to take away. One is live trades. We have access to that in the back office. Please do not let somebody tell you that we're not trading. Please do not let somebody tell you that they should have this or they should have that. It's real simple. If you see an MT4 account registered under a licensed broker like EverFX, and you see real trades open, buys and sells for different lot sizes and different amounts being placed right there in the back office, that is evidence that we are trading. Now, what does that mean? So that's live trades. I want you to take away that. And then I also want you to take away, where does this success come from? I saw somebody put in there how it's been 5% per week, even through this economic disaster. We've seen weeks as high as 12%. We've seen weeks as, like I said, 5%. Comes from live traders and proprietary technology. And so when you think about the trading team, which is Edwin Abad's part of the company, and then, we've got John, Hildo, Javier, which are both the traders as well as the software design. It says right there in the last sentence, extensive experience in both Forex trading and design and management. See, anybody can go and purchase. If you have money, you can go buy an algorithm, you can buy a bot, an EA, and you can plug it into your MT4 account tonight, and it will most likely, depending on where you got it from, could start winning some trades for you. But here's the thing. The market changes. The market changes overnight sometimes. And unless you know how to maintain that technology, it will blow your account. And so the fact that these guys have experience in trading manually with the right strategies and techniques, but also managing the software to take out that human emotion, is absolutely massive. And then they take that same knowledge and they invest it into the academy. And so, I always looked when I was doing e-learning. We made sure when our students were doing their e-learning, they were actually learning not from teachers. They were learning from people that actually knew the content. And so it's a different level of education. Now you get into the marketing side of it. And so Martin, I love the way Martin talks about this. He says, you can get started and you can become a customer and you can, benefit from the services until you feel confident to where you're ready to go out and share this, and maybe phone a friend or, phone a family member, or maybe post something on your social media. Hey guys, I found a way for you to make some additional income at home. When you get to that point, everything is here for you. We've got all the marketing tools. We've got funnels, and we've got automated emails, and there's other technology that we've built that you guys can have access to help you go out and share the business when you're ready. Let's learn about the education. So we're excited about the academy. We're excited about the Academy. I'm going to just 30 seconds. We went out to South Africa. We stood in a room with over 300 people. Many, at least half of them were prospects. Some of them had just got started in the business. This was in November. And I asked a two-part question. The first part was, like I asked you guys here today, raise your hand if you've ever tried to trade Forex on your own. And it was wild that everyone in the room, I mean, here I am in South Africa. I've never been there before. Was just blown away by the culture and Durban and all that. And everybody raised their hand. And I'm like, wow. I said, okay, well, keep your hands up if you've ever made money in Forex. And every single person in the room put their hand down. Because Forex is a way for you to empower yourself. And so nobody's going to stop you. No broker is going to say, well, hold on, before you open that account, do you know what you're doing? No, they're not going to say that. Before you go and deposit your hard-earned money, they're not going to double check that you've had any education. And so now you have this ability from home while you're on lockdown to get access to some real-world education. We're going to keep it simple. 3 parts. Elemental for the beginners. Start from scratch. Basic concepts and terminologies. There's some modules involved in that. Section 2 is the professional series. Now you're going to get into different concepts and techniques and maybe even touch on some strategies, how to read trends, that kind of stuff. 4 modules. And then the 3rd series, which is the Supreme series, which gets into what is the most important part, guys. It's the psychology. It's the mindset of becoming a professional trader, how to control emotions and that sort of stuff. So you get access to this as soon as you get started. Now, you can come in just as a customer and say, hey, you know what? All I want to do is learn how to trade, and you can purchase the education as a customer, or you can come in a la carte and get access to the education plus the trading. Now, when you get access to the trading packs, you can see there the Elemental series comes with the five different sections. You can get started with as little as $300 and start educating yourself on the basic concepts of Forex. But while you're learning, you can start earning from the technology that we've already started to discuss. You can start anywhere that you're comfortable with starting. You can move into the advanced series. You can get started at a $10,000 contract. Because this training is progressive, you would get everything up to that point. And then last but not least is the Supreme series, which takes you from 30K up to 100K. Now, if you do start going through the training, and I hope that you do. In fact, I saw somewhere on the website that we had like 15,000 members access the training already out of 22,000. That should tell you that this is real stuff. Like when companies' members actually access the product. But trading on the global Forex market is risky. If you choose to go open up your own broker account, please don't sell your house or auction off your home or any of that sort of stuff. Don't take out loans. Only trade with money that you can afford to lose, and understand that no real trade results can ever be guaranteed in any type of real trading activity. Now let's break down the difference here between, I think we're going to move into one more slide, and that slide is going to break down, I'm done. I think I'm done. Am I done?
No, what we'll do is we'll go ahead, and you're not done. We'll break it down. We'll break it down together. One of the things that I just wanted to comment when you were talking about that Supreme series, Justin, which is I find like when you hear the plans, when you hear the architectural design of the company, I think that sounds absolutely amazing. But now we're 9 months down the road, and we're actually seeing fulfillment of the design that we were shared with all those months ago.
Yeah.
The fact that every single member, it is the intention of the company for every single member to eventually be on a 100K contract.
That's right.
It's amazing.
And
let's break it
why?
down.
And why though, John? Let me just clarify. Not because they want you to spend $100,000, because they want you to go through the education. And so if you're on the 100K, you're benefiting from a $70,000 trade contract, and you're benefiting from Supreme Series education. Go ahead.
And you know what's fascinating, of course, and just to further emphasize that point, I'm thinking of one friend that I shared the platform with when I first got started, right after you'd mentioned this to me. And he started very small because he had limited Forex experience. So he started at $300, and he's currently on a $1,000 contract. And he hasn't put in a dollar from his pocket into this other than his starting $300. And in fact, the first 3 people that I've shared this with, one of them is on $100,000 trade package, one of them's on $40,000, and one of them's on $70,000. So we're seeing consistency. It's not just a few people getting lucky with the platform.
That's right. Yeah. Bare capital. If you just want to be a customer, that's all that is. You want to just simply take the money that you're making, maybe in your career or at your job, and you want to leverage it in the Forex space. All that is required is that you purchase a Trade Academy contract, and you will have the ability to 2x the value of that contract. Full capital. Well, now you feel confident in what you have your hands on, and you decide you want to go out and share it with others. Or maybe you're on this call right now and you're a network marketer and you're looking for a place to bring your team, somewhere that's trustworthy, somewhere where you know everybody is going to make money. I can't say this about any other business that we've been a part of. I just can't, and it's honest. 100% of our members are making money. 100%. There is a 0% attrition rate at Cash FX, and it's mind-blowing. So that bull capital is for those of you that want to go out now and share it with your network, with your friends, with your family, which now just by bringing one person into the business, you open up a few more income streams, and you have the ability to 2x the value of that contract again. And then you saw there some points that come with each contract. Well, there's some really cool awards that you can qualify for. And again, I do like to say the disclaimer here, guys, just because you're participating in this part of the program, which is the rewards plan, which is completely optional, there's no guarantee for success here. Hard work, massive action, consistency. In fact, I like to tell people, if you get involved in the rewards plan and you do no work, chances are you might not make any money, but it's a very lucrative plan. So I think we're going to get into it now. So here's your breakdown. Very simple again. On the 1K contract, it's a 30-70 split. So you come in at the 1K, 70% of that goes into the trade account, of which you have the ability to earn 200%. It's a 2x on the total value of the contract. So even for those of us that get in and say, you know what, I'm never going to go through the training, why am I penalized? Well, you're not really penalized, because even though 30% of that is going towards the cost of the academy, you're still earning 200% on the cost of the contract, which is $1,000. Now, what we love about this, and this is more compliance, the company is not taking the profits that we're making from the trading and sharing them around with others, which you see in other projects. The compensation plan is based 100% on the cost of the product. And let me make sure you didn't miss that. The company is giving back 100% on the cost of the product. And so that 30% is split into two 50-50 buckets. 50% of it is going to go into the fast start, and 50% is going to go into a unilevel, or what I like to refer as a team bonus. When is the fast start available to you? Instantly. So you go out and you help your friend get started at $1,000 contract. That same day, the moment his contract clears on the blockchain, you receive $150, of which you can withdraw to your BTC wallet immediately. The other $150 in this example would go into the unilevel bonus. 15% a week. Extraordinary results, guys. That's a cap. Okay. They have set a cap to protect the longevity of the company. And at the end of the day, who's going to complain about a 15% a week max? Now, with all of the things that are going on in the world, and the stock market at all-time lows, and the futures market, and all of these other markets, although we explain Forex to be recession-proof, it still has been impacted by what we see in the world, and that's liquidity has been taken out. There's a lot of reasons why, but what our company has in our best interest at the number one point of concern is risk management. And so what they've done And I've had conversations with John Wilson, who's one of our pro traders. He said, Justin, it's real easy for a retail home pro, a day trader to say, what you guys are doing is crazy because I'm killing it. And I've heard people say that. And then I say, well, you're trading with your own money. These guys are trading with our capital. And so they're going to operate with a much higher level of risk management. And like, I think it was Frank in the chat that said, we're still seeing 5-6% every single week consistently for the last 9.5 months. So this income stream that goes towards that bare capital. So this is what's going towards your $1,000 becoming $2,000, paid out every single Saturday at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So wherever you're at in the world, you do the math. If you're in South Africa, that's 6 p.m. If you're in Nigeria or the UK, that's 5 p.m. Like clockwork, you guys. I've never seen a company that has not missed a payout. I think there was one day, and I say this, one day that it hit our balance at 1 a.m. or 1 p.m. instead of 12. But every single time that balance and those emails go out and the week's total is put into your back office where you can withdraw it. So that's your bare capital. That's your customer. Am I going, John?
Yeah, it's up to you. You're doing so well. We might as well keep rolling. One thing I wanted to add while we were on the trading product slide is, you remember about 5 weeks ago, Edwin was actually one of the guests. Mm-hmm. And for anyone that wants to hear him speak with Waskar directly about their next EA that's getting ready to go live at some point fairly soon. That's actually on YouTube. So they can search back a new social movement, CFX, and they'll find that roughly about 5 weeks ago. So he was talking about some of the technology and the development that's gone into that new EA, and they're expecting some really substantial things.
Substantial things. I mean, I hear them use phrases like predict the market. Like when you have an algorithm that can predict if the market is going to go up and down. Now there's a lot of stuff that goes into that. It's the experience, it's the strategies that they've designed, it's the techniques that they use, and all of that together. I can't wait. I mean, it's going to be amazing.
Well, Waskar talks about 184 legs in this particular EA. And of course, you know that, where we learn most in life comes from our failures, our mistakes.
Yeah.
And so it's so valuable with the technicians and the engineers that are, by the way, part of the CFX family. This is not white label. This is not third party. This is part of the CFX family, and guys that are going absolutely nowhere. And to have years and years and years, and we're the benefactors now of all of those mistakes when they were younger. And now, of course, they're able to learn from those mistakes and code them into their new tech that will continue to profit from.
And again, you guys we get to see it all. We just log into the back office. I mean, watch it for a couple of days and you can see the trades open and close. You can see how the trade totals count up. I mean, it's 100% transparent. And John said it best. Over the last couple of years, they have been building and testing, not just testing relationships with brokers to find the right licensed broker, but testing these EAs out. And so tried and tested, and now we get to reap the benefits of this. So we already talked kind of about this. And so your fast start, that goes into your balance immediately. That's 50% of the cost of the product, which again is 30% of the contract. Next slide is our unilevel. I don't want to confuse anybody. So for those of you that might not know exactly how a unilevel works, it's really, really simple. The more people you help make money, and then as a leader, the more people you help learn how this program works, the more money you make. What I do want to say is when you get started right out of the gate, whereas other programs require you to go out and get 2 or 3 people signed up before you start benefiting from the compensation plan, you get access to the unilevel after you get your first person going with CashFX. Regardless of what size contract they start with, you earn a bonus immediately. And so you can see there, level 1 is, that's your friend. Your friend goes out and gets a friend, that's your level 2. Your friend's friend goes and gets a friend, That's your level 3, and it continues on. Now, as your organization grows in size, as you start to accumulate those points, you start to receive these ranks. You get these really cool leadership boxes, which we picked up in Panama. I can't wait until the award ceremony in Punta Cana, because I feel like it's going to take like 4 hours to go through everybody that's getting one of these boxes, John.
It's going to be awesome. You know, one of the things I wanted to comment on what you were just saying in regards to the unilevel. In my opinion, and I know in your opinion as well, I think the period of a company's experience, the most important time for individuals to earn is at the very beginning. New people get started and start seeing gains. One of the things I really like about this unilevel is even if you did just share this with one friend, who in their enthusiasm maybe shared this with 5 or 6, who had shared this with 2 or 3, who had shared this with 4 or 5. That could be dozens or even hundreds of people that came from just your one friend, and you're earning from all of it. There's no balance required. There's no other small print required in this. Levels 1, 2, 3, 4 are unlocked right out of the gate for everybody.
Wait, John, I don't think we covered it yet. John, what's the monthly fee again?
Well, that's a big one. That's a really big one, because we're all aware of so many Forex platforms that are operating right now in North America and in Europe and in Asia. And I think the average is about $150 to $200 as a monthly credit card charge.
Yeah.
So what's really important about that is it puts a lot of pressure on a new person that maybe only has $500, $600, or $700 to put into a brokerage account. Yeah. Because if you got $150 or $200 charge coming every month and you only have $700 in the market, there's a pretty good chance that you're breaking even or losing money pretty regularly.
Yeah. So there's 0 monthly fee here, guys. And like John said, the program, Waskar and Edwin were very passionate about making sure that this was a program accessible by people in every market in the world. And so starting out with that low package of just $300 and having the ability to have $210 of yours being traded automatically in the Forex space. So 0 monthly fees. I'll also mention Johan's question. No, Johan, you do not have to participate in this recruiting referral program. You use the term recruiting to earn. You can come in strictly as a Bear customer, and if and when you feel comfortable, you can then go out and start to share it. So the unilevel, you then see those gold pins on the end, opening up a infinity bonus. There's a lot of money to be made here, and it's very sustainable because everything is based on percentages.
It's a great question that you just answered. I think it was important because you're probably getting many questions, but that you picked that one because obviously rewards are entirely optional. And one of the great things about the platform is that you can participate just as a customer and do nothing other than log into your back office every couple of weeks or so. However, one of the things that I know Justin's finding and I'm finding as well is that because of the simplicity of the platform, and because of the consistency of the platform, many individuals that maybe never considered themselves ones that would share something with someone else are now doing it. So this is always your option, but don't be surprised if you find yourself one day when you're allowed to go meet your friends in the coffee shop that this isn't coming out of your mouth.
We had Carrie on one of our webinars just a few weeks ago, and Carrie led us on to the fact that she had 0 network marketing experience, 0. She was a very skeptical sale, I would say. It took her a few weeks before she finally decided to get started. She got started back in the middle of January, so you're talking February, March, and she actually reached that rank in March, and so she hit the rank of executive, which is extraordinary, with 0 network marketing experience in just under 60 days.
Good for her.
And so many people keep telling us, from big network marketers that have built teams of hundreds of thousands all the way down to people that have no experience, that they've never seen a program easier to share. And I'll just give one more example. South Africa, sitting on stage, I forget the young lady's name, but she came up and she received a recognition award for having the most guests at the event. The most guests. She had 23 first-time guests at the event. And so she won this really cool award. and she had no experience network marketing. All she did was build up a level of belief by becoming a customer and then taking that belief and sharing it with others.
It's that easy. And of course, evidence of what we've just been saying couldn't be more obvious than in this bonus. This is a bonus that was designed for everybody, whether they're a customer or whether they're a person that shares.
I love this bonus. This bonus is absolutely for everybody. So whether you're a Bear customer or a team builder, you get the benefit from this. I want you to think of this like a broker fee. Now, again, many of you have opened up broker accounts. Some of them charge 5%, some of them charge 8%. Yes, I've seen some of them charge over 10%. And so you think of this when you're ready to withdraw your money out of the system, you think of that 20% as a broker fee. Only the owners don't keep it. It does not make Waskar and Edwin wealthier. It makes you and I wealthy. It goes back into the ecosystem. And I'll be honest with you, this is a deliberate and unique strategy so that you and I could have a monthly residual income without a monthly payment. In fact, I've been speaking with some of my network marketing buddies that are in other opportunities, other product-based companies. I've got a real good friend of mine who's he's a gym nut, and he's in a health and fitness company. And he's one of the top earners. He says, Justin, are you seeing your income slow down because like less people are joining? And I says to him, no. Our income's actually going up because, like John said, the model is working because people are upgrading. We've been in 9 months, and now we're seeing people that started 8-9 months ago, 40K, 70K, 100K. And the beautiful thing is every time a contract is purchased new within your network, anytime it is a renewal contract or an upgrade, we get those bonuses. And in order to get that money out, guess what? Everybody has to withdraw. And so it's going to go into 3 buckets. So again, for transparency, 50% of that withdrawal fee goes into this matrix, which pays 10 levels up, which, by the way, we have 2 trainings now out there. John has a master's training that he went over this model back when we were in Amsterdam. And then we did a master's training yesterday on a really simple concept where you can just select 3 of your friends, just 3 of your friends to come and get started with you. And if you teach that same model down 6 generations, it puts something like $70,000 in your pocket a month. This thing right here, this matrix, pays out on the 1st and the 16th of the month. And we have so many people in the company that are already making high multiple 5-figure checks from the matrix, you guys.
Yeah, this one's interesting. It's a bit of a sleeper because in the beginning, it starts very small and you just don't pay much attention to it. And then all of a sudden, it's a 4-figure and 5-figure income generator.
Yeah.
And it won't be long before it's a 6-figure generator for many.
That's right. And it won't be long before Waskar and Edwin have to start paying it out more than just twice a month.
That's right.
So, you know, one of the things he told me in the beginning was it could be daily. I mean, just mind blowing.
Yeah.
So again, this is that Bear. Yeah, this is that Bear Capital. So for those of you that are customers and you say, well, how can I earn from this if I never recruit anyone? There's a term in the industry that I'm not a big fan of. It's called spillover. But basically, there's a team network. And in that team network, because the system is automatically placing people in multiples of 3, once those 3 places, like you can see those 3 in the top are taken, when that person above you starts bringing more people in, one of them can eventually fall within your matrix. And so now you start receiving a check from the matrix, even as a Bear customer who never helped a single person get started. So the benefit is the sooner you get started and buy a contract, the better your position is in the matrix, and that's a fact. So
I will share one last piece before we turn away from the slide and move on. I shared this with a friend of mine who got involved in CXX purely as a customer, and she made that very clear in the beginning. And when her 2K contract reached 4, she had a financial requirement. So she withdrew all of her money and she had to leave the platform. And I checked just recently, and there's over 800 people down underneath her in her matrix. She never referred a single person to it. Yeah, so that just gives you a bit of an insight as to what types of things that are possible over a few months.
Yeah, I know when my mom first got started, she got started as a customer, and she started pretty early with us. And so I know she was getting a matrix check for a while, and she's like, I see my trades coming in, but I keep getting this other email. What is it about? And then this is another piece of the matrix. So the matrix is something that benefits the bear customer strictly or solely, but also benefits the builder. And so when you get into the team building and you bring in just one person, you now qualify for this 10% personal matching check. It's real simple. You have people within your matrix that are getting a matrix check, you get 10%. You know, you got 100 guys and they all receive $1,000. You just made 100 from all of those members that are within your matrix. And the company, being so financially strong and really wanting everybody to see the power of the matrix, unlocked it for all of us. We have another 30 days. This was released on March 25th, and so we have April up to May 25th. And so what that means now is even if you're on just a $300 or $1,000 or a $2,000 contract, you're actually going to get paid on your entire 10 levels of the matrix. So I know for a fact that people are seeing bigger matrix checks, bigger check matches, all because of what the company has done in unlocking this. And so we have 30 days, guys, to continue to put the pedal to the metal and take advantage of the bonus that the company has opened up for us. And last but not least is the leadership program. Not going to get into a lot of detail here because for the first time, people coming on board, it's really about just getting started and getting comfortable. But once you get comfortable with the program, you can see that these ranks are definitely super achievable. In fact, if you log into your back office and you go down to the little section for the leadership page, there is a brand new leadership page. There's also a video, I guess, from last week out on the corporate YouTube channel where John or Waskar kind of went over John's, I think it was John's leadership page, and you can actually see some of the new features that allow you to manage your network better. But here's what I can tell you is you can see on that page all of the people that are ranking up in the company. And so we have hundreds of executives, many of which have never hit a single rank in another company in their entire career. And then the piece I would like to touch on is when you hit these ranks, like I said, you get these really cool, and these are real, right? You get, sterling silver, 18 karat gold, real ruby stones, real diamond cut in there. The craftsmanship of those boxes is extraordinary. It's the same company that produces the Olympic medals. Those you have to be at the next regional event to claim those. But for those of you that simply don't want the award, you can get the cash. It's paid out in Bitcoin, and it's paid out on the 6th of every month. I don't know. Yep, there they are. So here's our prizes. First prize for executive is an iPad. Estimated value 900. Again, you can take a partial payment for the Bitcoin, which is paid out on the 6th. So if you don't want the iPad, you don't have to take the iPad. The next rank is manager, which is a $10,000 Rolex. I mean, come on, guys. Second rank in the company, a $10,000 Rolex. I believe the cash payout is around $7,500 in Bitcoin. So you actually
people hitting it in 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. That's a pretty decent bonus.
Absolutely. And I hear so many people taking that bonus and using it to get to the next level in the contract. Which is beautiful. Next level up is director. That is a $15,000 trip for you and a companion or spouse. I mean, you can go to some pretty fancy places for $15,000, guys. Next is the supercars. We have a Porsche. I want to talk about this. Luigi talks about this all the time. It's really, really cool that this car program here is not a leased program. So where other companies give you an $800 or $1,000 monthly payment, as long as you maintain that rank, and as soon as you drop under, they pull that, you have to make the payment. Or if that company goes out of business, or you decide, hey, I don't want to work with this company anymore, you have to turn over the keys to that car very quickly. Here, all of the bonuses are paid in full. We are the first members of the President's Club. I say first because folks like John and I know Martin and I know Richard and I know Lee, so many other people are right at the cusp of breaking into that President's Club, that we're going to be seeing some keys to Porsches being handed out here real soon. But the company transferred $100,000 almost immediately, and you know, Luigi's driving around in a pretty sexy Porsche right now, John.
With no speeding tickets on record yet.
Well, it's still winter, I think. I give him summer.
I guess there's still gravel on the road. Let's give him a little bit of time.
Next up is a Ferrari. And in order for us to get to that Ferrari, we need you guys getting to the Porsche, and we need you guys getting to, you know, the trips and the watches. And so I want to see everybody this year break into these ranks and get some really cool prizes, stack some more Bitcoin, and then like a $200,000 car. And then last but not least, a $500,000 Lambo, which I think pays like $375,000 in Bitcoin if you have no practical use for a Lambo. Luigi asks this question all the time, guys. What would you choose? Type it in the chat. Is it a Porsche? Is it a Ferrari? Is it a Lamborghini? Or would you rather take the cash?
If I'm not mistaken, you can still hold groceries in this.
You can. I think they go in the front, right? I think they
go in the front
of the
yeah.
Lambo.
Yeah, they go in the front. I think the kids go in the front too.
Yeah. But guys, we were promised. I'm gonna finish up with this, guys. We got started. You know, you for those of you that are looking at this now for the first time or just got started, maybe this past week, you have so much more than John and I and Luigi and many of the others that got started on this journey back in July. We got started with promises, and we joined because we had a good feeling about this. You guys have a lot of proof, a lot of evidence, a lot of integrity, a lot of delivered promises from the live trades to the office, to the brokers, to the traders, to the technology. And so all I'm going to do is listen. If you are even only understanding 25 or 30% of the technicalities of the program, get started with us today. Get back to the person that invited you here. You know, we understand that trust is earned and not given. Get started with just 300. When you feel comfortable, if you decide you want to start sharing this with some of your friends and loved ones, then you do that at your, when you're ready. But get started with us, guys. Back to you, John.
Thanks, buddy. Listen, there's one other thing that I wanted to just touch on because, we've got a couple hundred people in this call, and we're having calls multiple times a day with 200 and 300 people on them. So obviously we're very busy. But what I'd like to do is just take a second and you and I speak to the guests that are on this call. Yeah. And also the members that are on this call that consider themselves customers, because they either would like to have nothing to do with the sharing model, or perhaps have some sort of inner anxiety at the idea of sharing with someone else. Yeah, a lot of us there's a real epidemic of confidence that seems to be only growing larger and larger and larger as time passes. And it's really important, I think, that you understand that right from the top of the company down, the corporate team especially, and all the leaders, it's critically important that all of you understand that there's not a person that's breathing air right now that doesn't deserve abundance in their life. Amen. Everyone deserves it. And often because of circumstances or environments with which we grow up, we believe that maybe we're not worthy to be financially free, or that we have to work through our entire lives. And whether we've received that from someone else or we've just bought into that because that's the environment of the world we live in, it really is important that all of you understand that you can absolutely change anything. And specifically, in a situation like this where one can leverage themselves, you have an opportunity to capitalize on 2 wealth building principles. Wealth building principles that wealthy people and wealthy companies use every single day. They use leverage and they use compounding. And both of those principles are heavily used in this particular platform. So if you're feeling that this is something that you just can't do, please, I hope that you're able to overcome that, or reach out to one of us and have a chat with us, because this is absolutely something that anybody can be successful doing.
Amen. I love what you said. Get started with us today. Come on in. And I truly am confident and believe that you will have the same level of belief and confidence in a very short period of time. Thanks for joining us today, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
See you on the next call.